Hi guys, welcome back to the Blind Bookshelf. This will be my first review since being back doing this. So I'm going to review the last book in Karen Marie Moning's Fever series, Kingdom of Shadow and Light. I do not own the book yet. I own it on an ebook form because the paperback book has not been released yet. I think I was told it comes out in August, but I could be wrong. Anyways, here it goes. So, this is going to be spoiler heavy. So again, if you have not read A Kingdom of Shadow and Light, do not wait until you finish the book. Because there's just no way to talk about any of this and review any of this without giving away spoilers. So, it picks up roughly days to weeks maybe after High Voltage. And this one is very Mac and Barron's heavy. So Mac has basically sequestered herself into hiding, one, to stay alive because the Fae are out to kill her because they don't believe that she has the right to the true power of the High Queen. And they do not recognize her as Queen because she's mortal and not Fae. And basically everything goes to hell in a handbasket. As she's trying to kind of learn as much as she can from the knowledge that the last queen gave her through when she transferred power to Mac, she comes to find out that someone in her family has been abducted and is being held for ransom, and she's trying to find ways to get her loved one back. And then all of a sudden, Danny is abducted, and then they don't know where the hell Danny's at. And it jumps between characters, kind of like the last few books have done. Luckily, thank God, they are titled, so you know exactly who you're going to. Makes things much, much easier. But, so yeah, we watch Mac trying to, learn how to rule the Fae while trying to save her family, trying to find them, trying to stay alive, and trying to also get time to be Mac. Needless to say, that doesn't quite go as well as it should have. But I finished it. It was good. I can't say that I enjoyed it all that much. I mean, it's really, really hard to say. Things were done in a way that I probably wouldn't have agreed with. And it did have a note of finality to it. Throughout the whole thing, you kind of felt like this was the end. And the big word of the day for the book was emotions. Because the Fae have gotten all their emotions back, and with their emotions come memories. And while Mac is trying to establish a rule over them, they're all also fighting each other because they remember old feuds and all the other crap. But it was honestly like a Where's Waldo moment. Everyone is going up missing, and you're trying to find them and trying to stay alive for the most part. We follow Christian, we follow Danny, we follow the Winter Princess, who is really, really nasty and vindictive. And then we follow a new character named Lyrica. And she is actually probably my favorite character out of that book. She is really freaking awesome. But yeah, so I don't know. It was just I would probably give it maybe 3 stars. Yeah, about 3 stars. I can't even give it 3.5 stars because of the little things. Like, it did jump around a lot. So parts of the story is being told with a Mac that isn't Mac. Like, it's like an alternate reality almost type thing. And then there's parts of the things that like Barron's did and said that weren't quite Barron's-ish. Like in the beginning part of the series, he's one, a man of little words. And 2, he's just, oh my God, I don't even know how to describe this. I did so good talking to it with friends. But I just wanted more out of this. I wanted more action, more of, honestly, Mac and Barron's not running around trying to save the world and put out fires, because that's exactly what was happening. They got little to no time together, and, you know, every time that they could take a deep breath or whatever and think, oh, okay, we're good, something else goes wrong. And like one of the little spoiler things that kind of deals with Barron's is the fact that Barron's kind of has a clone. And in the end, Barron's was okay with letting this clone live. Which was, in my opinion, so not Barron's, because that's a variable that Barron's himself can't predict. It's he can't control. Why would he allow that? I have no damn clue. And for the reasoning that was given in the book was that because it's part of him, he is okay with it. And it's just like, it didn't really make much sense. It just wasn't quite Barron's. But there were definitely good parts. I liked all Christian's parts. Christian's parts were real good. He has finally able to tap into the magic of being the Unseelie Prince, and kind of he knows his place now, and he's kind of his revelation of being under control and being able to shift and make himself appear as what he was as the Highlander was really, really funny, because he's like, oh my God, I can go out and get laid. And that was hilarious. And he was trying to get out the damn door and just couldn't get out the door because everyone was like coming into him. It does follow Kat with her daughter Ray, and that one was really good. I honestly, I don't know. But yeah, so it was little things that I enjoyed the most, but overall it was an okay book. The final battle between Mac and Barron's and Cruz was over in like a paragraph, it seemed. And there was like no real fighting. Not like it was in like Fever Song or any of the other ones where there's a big fight. This was over almost like in a blink of an eye. And that was a little disappointing. But and then like it wrapped up way too cleanly. Like, it wasn't necessarily like a happily ever after, because Christian didn't really get a happily ever after. I mean, he did, but he didn't. He gets the girl, he gets Lyrica. But the thing with Lyrica is that she's been a captive all of her life for like centuries, eons, if not. And she wants to get out and live. And so that's what she does, which, great. So happy for her, because finally she's able to actually take control of her life. But it was kind of bittersweet for Christian. And after all the crap that Christian went through, you know, it's kind of nice to, especially with the Hag, the Crimson Hag, it's kind of nice to see that he was, you know, he finally found someone who can see him and he can be with. And the thing with Dani, that like she gets caught by the hunters and put back in a cage, and that was a little infuriating. But like, I wanted more Dani action too. I wanted more Mac and Dani, them fighting, them going around Dublin trying to save the world, and basically Dani was hobbled. There was a little thing where like I was super panicking because I thought something was going to happen with Shazam. And again, spoiler, sorry, nothing happens to Shazam, but like I was like really about to lose it. But oh man. So I'm glad that everything worked out. But again, like it took these little things that like I loved most about the characters, like Mac and Dani being together. And Mac and Dani are not together until like the very freaking end. Like I'm literally not even kidding. The very end is when Mac and Dani can get together. And it's just a lot of potential. And in a way, I kind of get it. Karen Marie Moning has been battling a lot of health issues, and then with COVID happening and all that stuff, things just kind of, yeah, it's just things kind of happened probably the way it did, but I mean, I liked it. It was good. Not my favorite book in the series. Definitely didn't quite care for the way Mac and Barrons were. I wanted more of the maybe not quite asshole-ish version of Barrons, but not the Barrons that we got. He was almost turning into a really, really, really big softie. And I'm like, this isn't Barrons. Even Raiden was kind of hobbled a little bit. And like in I think it was Fever Song and in High Voltage, you know, things were mentioned like because Raiden turned Christian's uncle, Diagus, I'm totally butchering his name, sorry, into one of the 9, whatever they are, and we still don't know what they are, which I'm happy that she didn't actually tell us what they were. But talking about like, oh, well, if the tribunal comes and finds out, and they always find out, we'll deal. And they mentioned the tribunal a few times in these books. There was no mention of the tribunal. And there was no mention of Christian's uncle. So it's kind of like you led us to a certain point, and then you didn't continue on with it. But it was little things like that. Raiden was really hardly in it. The rest of the 9 were not even in it. And like the other books, we were seeing more of the 9 involved. We see lore, but not like a whole bunch. There's no Faye, there's no Castillo, there's hardly any of them. And Lore's only there for a little bit. And then like he has like a talk with Mac, and that's it, no more. So I feel like it was almost short-sighted, a little. Again, my opinions, but yeah, no, I was just, for the last final book, I wanted to go out with a bang, and it kind of went out with a whisper. But I mean, the series is over, it's done. I think my favorite book out of the whole series is probably it's probably Fever Song, to be honest. But just because I like the battle of it. But I just feel like that one closed or ended a little bit better than this one. Even though that one's not the official ending. It wasn't the official ending at all. And I wish that the big battle between Cruz and everybody was a little bit more well done. A little bit more detailed and a little bit more stretched out. But I'm happy I finished it. I'm happy I read it. I can't wait to get the paperback of it so I can go off on my shelf with the rest of them. I do feel like I kind of want to reread the whole series again. Maybe I'll have a different view of it reading it again, because it gets a little confusing because you're kind of hopping between times almost. That's what it kind of feels like. But overall, it was okay. About 3 stars is kind of what I would give it. So if y'all have finished it, what do y'all think? this is kind of rambling. I'm sorry. It's like, what do you expect from my first review back? But yeah, if y'all have read it, what did y'all think of it? And like, did it hold up to your expectations? Did you enjoy it? Did you feel like it ended very well? Did you like the way that Mac and Barron's were, or where they're at right now? And if not, what did you want to see more of? Because yeah, I just wanted much more battle. Like the other ones felt like there's a lot more fighting involved, and this one was very almost passive. But anyways, that's Kingdom of Shadow and Light, my rambling review. At least that hasn't changed. Yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, or resubscribe if you unsubscribe because we were gone for so long. But anyways, I will see you next time with the next book review. And until then, bye.